Good evening. In the ongoing series of imparting quality education and conceptual physics to all involved, I am embarking today on a very important topic of physics because I have covered the earlier fluid and scalar vector. So now I am coming, and it is more beneficial to even to the students who are taking exam for the coming JEE main, which is coming up in September, because I will deal one by one. I have always go by concepts, and I have tried to make it more interactive, and so that is current electricity. My channel, you all know, is Physics Simplified. I hope you have benefited. Going through my earlier video, I have already uploaded some 7-8 videos and tried to make it. I am awaiting still for your questions, for more responses, because that will help me and making me correcting myself. You know, I am a non-professional. I am just doing it for the sake of imparting education. Now, so that is current electricity. You all have learnt it right from 8th class, 8th, 9th. But today I will deal in a more informative way. I will try to go in interdisciplinary, like you say material science, starting with, because people only know when you think of current electricity, what will you think? You will think of Ohm's law. You will think of KCL, KVL, and start trying problems without going in detail, because first you have to understand what is, you have already read electrostatics. So I have tried and I have divided the whole current electricity in 4 parts. And first is most important, because people are not aware of the current, what is current. If I ask you what is current, people may have some, that it is a flow of static electricity, that is static charge. When the charge is static, that is called electricity, and when it is moving, it becomes current electricity. But there is more to it. You may answer flow of moving charges, and it have a resemblance to the pipe flow for the fluid mechanics, but it is also a flow of charges. Like there we have flow of some material, flow of liquid, flow of some VA, that's we call a flow. So that there is a resemblance which we will see. So I will start with introduction and measures of current. That is most important. As I said, that it is of course flow of moving charges, but we all know if on atomic level, if you think I am going to atomic level and I am trying to integrate material science and then start with that, you should know what is that, what are the elements. Then I got the elements of electric circuit and Ohm's law, because this is more important, because electric circuit will comprise of some A, B, C, like you know, that's one source of power, and how the current flows. So that is that one. Then we have all know the Ohm's law, and then there is networking and Kirchhoff's law, finding equivalent resistance, and then there is effects of current, heating effects of current, and all that. The problems are there because we all have seen we have got power appliances, and this is very very interesting. Like, so I am starting with the first two days. I will deal with these two, and the next and the next I will take up this, because this is more. So I am going to now deal with this. So now starting with, I will start with the atomic level of what is atomic level. I will try to make it more interesting and more informed. So in an atom, we all know that there is a nucleus and there are revolving electrons, and overall atom is neutral. So how this concept of charge, and this is bound by what? Electrostatic force. This is bound by electrostatic force. So where the concept of moving charge comes, how can you make the charge move? Because this electron is bounded, so this cannot move. So now I am giving a second overview. What is that? that in a bulk, like say some, if I say some 10 gram of copper, I'll go through. I'm making it interesting. I don't know. I'm not going through a material. 10 gram of copper. Copper is a conductor. Now conductor and insulator are there. So I'll write also conductor and insulator. So as per your knowledge, I know current is flow of charges and precisely the flow of electron when in a conductor, but in a electrolyte, there are flow of both positive and negative charges, and so there the current is measured by a charge. So coming, just this is a distraction, but now coming to the 10 gram of copper. I am saying 10 gram of copper. So once I am saying certain amount of copper, so there may be something called conducting electron, which is moving. Why it is moving and how it is calculated, I think in many of the books. So I always told people to go to NCERT. NCERT is the best book, and I will recommend strongly that before reading physics, starting a topic, you must read NCERT. NCERT is a whole soul. If you have read and understood NCERT, there is nothing you have to do. You will you will solve all the problems. And if you go cramming and go to the material of physics, so now I'll go conducting electron. What is that? Here we have said this is electrically neutral. All the atoms are neutral, but this is a conductor. That must have conducting electron because the word is conductor. So it will conduct what? Electricity. Current, it will go let it flow. So what? How it will be possible? This is an interesting one. Like 10 gram of copper, the atomic mass of copper is, say, what is the atomic mass of copper? How much? Or say 63. I am not precise because I am just integrating chemistry. So now you can see that how many moles, how many are there, how many you say number of moles, number of mass, molecular mass, atomic mass, so you can calculate the number of moles or number of atomic mass unit, whatever is there, and so you will say an Avogadro's number of moles, say molecules, and इतने number of moles होंगे और उसमें Avogadro number से how many molecules will be there, n multiplied by n, so it will be say m into n, so there are so many molecules. And there what happens is when in a closed packed structure, when you go into a bulk, this type of some of the electrons, because they are packed in a mass, so some of the electrons become conductive, become free, because these electrons, suppose there are in the vicinity of one more atom. So what will happen that due to attractive or repulsive forces, some of the electron may be free, and those are called conducting electron, and that is called, I will come later with a problem when we will say the drift velocity and all that, but just I am giving an overview. So that's why we get conducting electrons, although electron is bounded, but in a bulk, when packed in a mass, suppose of 10 grams, so many innumerable number of atoms and molecules are there, multiplied by 6.2023 into 10 to the power 23. So in that, due to that is the resultant, some electrons become free, and those conduct electricity in a conductor. So that is the basic thing I wanted to say. And now in electrolyte, both positive and negative, because there are electrode, positive and negative electrode. So both positive and negative charges flow. Here only electron flow, conducting electron, and the direction of current is, which you all know, is opposite, or you can say vice versa. That if this is the direction of current in a circuit, and the flow of electron is from this to this, and positive charges is same direction. So an electrolyte will see and will solve problem, because starting with you don't know what is this. So I wanted to give you what is the material aspect and what is the conducting electrons. Now I'll come, as we already know that there is a now measure of current. So conducting, so measure of current is it is a flow of charge. So it is definitely by I equal to Q by T. And what will be Q? Q will have to be quantized. What is Q? Q is written as N times E. And what is E? We have already seen, we have already discussed that the elementary unit of charge is conducting electron, and its charge is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. I suppose I am correct. I don't remember much, but you can check, but it is correct. So now the current, when you say, I have told you the analogy between this is a conductor, and then you can say this is a pipe also. Okay. So at a particular point, if n number of electrons are crossing this, then the magnitude of current in the conductor may be treated as Q and P equal to Ne by T. Or vice versa, if current is given, unit of current is ampere. So, and charge is coulomb. So that if current is given, that the flow, the charges flow. Likewise in pipe flow, you know some water is crossing. So you can calculate if velocity is given. So you can calculate discharge, or discharge is given, volume is given, how much volume is flown. So there you will write Q equal to V by T. You can compare these two. You can compare the two, I and this is discharge. And of course this has different connotation. I can write it small q also, this one. But this is, now this you can say the volume of water flow is analogous to this, and time is same, and this is called, so this is called ampere is also coulomb per second, you can say. So now here we have discussed there are two types of flow, steady and unsteady. So here also we will have two types of current flow in a conductor. What is called, that is a steady, and another is unsteady. And here we have already discussed laminar or steady here also, and turbulent, and it is unsteady. So I am just taking a to clear up minds, and then I will come to the measures. So this is steady. So this is the question for measure of current in a steady current. This is steady current. Any I think I am pretty clear. This is steady current where the number is fixed. Number of conducting electron crossing a section is fixed, and arriving here is also fixed. So n number and n number coming here. But there may be a source of power where this may vary. So then then we'll have what? Then we'll write equation again, which is in form of summation, or which is in calculus form, because there is a variation. Now this is not uniform, and then we'll discuss some problems, and then we'll go ahead the next part, and which is more important. So what is this? Now there is unsteady. Unsteady, as the name implies, that due to the power source, the flow of a conducting electron or the charges across a section varies with time. So that means IT equal to, you can say, QT by 2T. So this QT is a function of time. This may be of any, and this may be of any linear, non-linear, anything. So this may be, suppose, AT square plus BT plus C. This may be of like in a AC current, you will read afterwards. That I am just telling. It may be a trigonometrical function. Say it is A sin omega t. That is the equation of whenever you go. So the EMF you will read in electromagnetic induction. But that EMF is altogether, if resistance is there, then altogether current is like this. So this will be a trigonometric function, and this is the varying. So QT may be a function of trigonometric also, which is encountered in AC current. You will read in EMF induced. And when you talk of EMF, that is the most important thing. People just go by VV, they always call voltage. They forget electromotive force. That is the That is the prime mover of the circuit. I will draw next one because I just want to finish first give though. So then you have to either you can differentiate it. So dq by dt. Does not, because this is instantaneous, so this will be differential form. So if qt is given, to differentiate it, and then the time at a particular time you can instantaneous current you can get, because this is unsteady current. And for charge, if you want to, so dq equal to it dt. You want to and you have to integrate from 0 to t, and you have to integrate from 0 to get the total charge flow. Total charge flows through a particular cross section or at a particular time through the circuit. So this is the overview. Now I'll solve the I'll put upon, although I don't solve many problems because you find it everywhere, but you don't know the basics. That's the problem. You find everywhere written. I can have 1,000 problems on the net or on our other channels. Everywhere you will get problems, but not basic concepts. The people are just reading and cramming, so I'm giving, but I'll just see electrolyte current, because there is electrolyte current like you encounter everywhere in electroplating. So suppose, because here both the charges flow, and then you have to calculate the current. Simple question, but I'm just giving so you can get the direction. So there are, suppose positive charge is proton basically associated. So I'm saying 100 protons at a particular, this is SPD current I'm assuming, and suppose some 150 electrons, I'm just writing, there's no here, just are flowing in this electrolyte current circuit. So you have to find, you know the charges magnitude are both. So you have to know, you have to find I. What is the ampere? I. What is the current? Current in the circuit. I is what in the circuit. This electrolyte current circuit is there. We will say conducting circuit also. So this is we have already seen that moving charge will constitute current. So, and we are all okay that the direction of current is opposite to the flow of electron, but along the flow of proton. So direction will be along this, and magnitude will be, you can say, Q1. So you have to add Q. You have to see N1, P1. If you have associate, although the charge is same, plus N2, E1. Positive and negative charges are there, but the direction matters. The total charge flow is there. So that is for direction. So although the magnitude will be there, suppose there is a circuit. So these number of proton and electron moving, but overall the current will be a sum of both. It will be a numerical sum. So this is divided by, say, some time is given, say 3 seconds. So this is the way you have calculated, and the direction is along this direction of flow. So this is Q. Q1 is this, and I will be Q divided by T. For ditto for, because this is total number of souls, this will be added. This is electron, then the current will be in this direction, along the direction of proton, and the direction will be this. And this will, if there is a variable one, then you have to differentiate and get those results. So that's why I have discussed. Now one more important thing. Now one more important thing that I have to introduce now. How these electrons flow? Because you know electrons have got two motions. Electrons have got two motions. One is called random or thermal motion or kinetic energy, which they possess, and other is called drift. I am introducing this now, drift. And how these electrons moves in a line, because electron have got random motion in a conductor. Those conducting electron will have random motion, and the average speed will be zero. Summation that you are also reading when you go in EMF. So now what is the prime one? That precisely is called electric field. You know, we have already discussed in electrostat. Under the influence of an electric field, and which is provided. I will draw now a circuit just for it. So this is a general circuit you have already seen. This is a conductor, and this is a source power, and this is the electric field, because electric field, if it is E, you know, and this is a EMF, electromotive force. This is a cell or power mover which is called EMF, and this is resistance, and this is a conductor. Whole thing will be conductor, and will have a definite conductor with a resistance. Resistance is a definite conductor with a every conductor has a resistance. So we'll see this is a wire, and there will be resistance. In our case, this is electrical appliances, because from our like a tube light, like a bulb, these are called the electrical installation are which have got definite resistance. So they will constitute this, and this is conducting wire. So this is called EMF, and you all know potential difference is V equal to EB. So the point is, and here also you know, you always called it, what is battery equal, straight away go to V, voltage, you start searching. Like in a battery, normal in a pencil battery which you have used for remote, it is written the 3 volt or 4 volt, and this is of course a DC current. But this voltage, and there is another term called EMF. What is E? And there is a difference. I will deal with later. I am precisely going to deal with this circuit. So this electron, this electric field, this source of power, this source of electromotive force is associated with an electric field, because it is associated with a potential difference. So it is associated with the electric field, and this electric field will set the electrons. In this case, the current direction will be this, from lower to higher potential, and the electron flow will be from this to dissipation will be from this to this. So this is under this influence, what will happen? The electron will be, now I am going to introduce the concept of, so this random motion will be converted to drift motion, and which I am going to now deal. So what will happen? We all know this battery or EMF, that will deal with later precisely some. So this electric field, so there is an electric field now, which I am calling it E. So what will happen? A charge of electron, E is electron charge. Okay. Now you have to go to your electrostat. What you have read, that a charge placed in an electric field will experience a force which is E times E. So what will happen? There are innumerable electrons in a conductor. So I have already told number of moles or number of, you can calculate, and number of atoms, and then conductivity. So there are innumerable number in a bulb. So suppose in a wire of 3 mm diameter of copper, there is of certain unit length, there are so many electrons. So this force when applied, these electrons will have definite motion, and all of the electrons will move in a definite direction. What will be the direction? Direction of flow of current. So what will be the force, and what is the m into a? So this is the acceleration. Okay, very interesting one. So this is acceleration. You all agree? Because this is the force, and force is the mass into acceleration. So this is the acceleration of an electron in an electrical circuit. Okay, I suppose nobody, I'm not boasting, but people just go through, because this is acceleration. And now what will happen when you are in a different direction, movement and acceleration? So there are n number of electrons. So what will happen? Every electron will be aligned in this way, and then they will collide, because there are electrons. This electron will start with acceleration, start moving, but this will collide, and once it is collide, then speed will decrease, because the collision you all again know. You are in mechanics. So there is a time lag. Suppose this electron have accelerated and travel for a time. What is called? That time is called, I will say. So that time is called relaxation time. That is relaxation time. that is called precisely relaxation time. Before, that means it is relaxed and before hitting it, the period is called relaxation time. So every electron, if you say in a circuit, depending on this E, but there is a time before it collides, depending on the packing of the material. Because more conductor will have less relaxation time because there are more conducting electrons. And so on, so we will see later. So the point is, now I will just again go back for some time back. I will see to it. I have left one point. So what will happen? So what would happen? So what will be the, then here comes the drift velocity. That means for this much time, this electron is accelerated with this, and so the drift velocity which you have introduces, because this is the precisely the drift velocity will be AE into tau, what is called relaxation time. So this is precisely EE by m into tau, and this is called drift velocity. We have introduced the concept of drift velocity. Then we will go and introduce it with current density. Then we will again go in the A will see the current density. But I have left one small portion just for I will just measures of current. So I will just clear it. Suppose for a measure of current, suppose the number of electrons, a electron is moving in a certain orbital radius, because there are, so magnitude of current can also be calculated from this I equal to Q by T, and here that T will be time period. Okay, so that T will be time period, so that T will be, if orbital speed is given, suppose Vr is orbital speed, R is the radius, then you can calculate this time period, and then the current measure will be like this, or T will be equal to 2 pi nu. So if you given the orbital speed of electron and the radius of the orbit, then you can calculate this, and then you can get the magnitude of current. This type of question also comes. So now coming to drift velocity and what we call the phenomena of movement. So now we'll see the relationship I am going to deal, because these are the derivations, so sometimes you have to take. So now, as I already told, there is an analogy, and after that will come to EMF. There is already an analogy between pipe flow and conductor current flow. So if suppose this is a cross section of a conductor for a certain length, okay, so that is to say the relationship between charge and all the drift velocity and current density, that will deal. That is a very interesting question. So drift velocity, so in a time t, that relaxation time or time t, this will travel how much? This will travel a distance of Vd into delta t, if we have taken the time of observation as delta t, and then we have to, because this is the observation time. I am not now, drift velocity we have already derived from a relaxation time of point. Now this drift velocity, what will happen? Now if we have to define, now we define a term n, which is number of electrons per unit volume, like density. This is electron density, you can say. Like number of mass per unit volume is density, and this is called, you can say this is electron density. So what will happen? So we have already discussed like so the charge will be how much? If n is electron density, so the charge will be in cross sectional area, say is of conductor A. So delta Q will be how much? So it will be n into volume, and volume will be how much? N into E, of course charge for n into E, and then the cross sectional area A, and this is the length, or you can say Vd into delta T. Okay, so this is called, now the charge flown is current I into delta T, and for this we have derived backwards, so we'll introduce it, and E into A, and Vd will what? Again E into E, because E into E divided by mass of electron into relaxation time, and then the So this will become n e square a e by m tau, and this delta t cancels. So this is, so you can have current density also. You can have current density from here also, which will derive, because this is an as per electric field. If there are electric field is given, EMF is given in a circuit, then you have to calculate, and relaxation time is given, then you can calculate the current like this or the drift velocity like this. Okay, so this also you can measure the current in a circuit if the electric field is given, and number of electron. This is very important. This is called, you can call it electron density. This is called electron density, and I'll deal with a very good problem associated with this. Okay, so and here if you substitute it here itself, now there is another way of calculating the drift speed. From here you can write I delta t equal to, right, rather than going in the electric field and a relaxation time, here also, from here you can calculate the drift velocity, because there was electric field. If that is not given, if only the number of electron per unit volume is given and cross section area of conductor is given, you have to calculate drift speed, then this equation will have, and that is precisely NE A BD and delta t, and so, and this is called current density. J, that's another term you will derive. So that is called J equal to NE into VD. So from here, if current density is given and number of density is given, then you can calculate drift velocity or vice versa. So these two equations, I will number them in 1 and 2. This will help you in again quantizing the current, the measuring the current. I am still at that topic. Quantizing current, different way of, and very important is drift speed and thermal speed. There are magnitude are very different, so you can discuss it. So now a question I am solving related to this of that electron density. I have already solved like say for any conductor. Now there is a question that you have to calculate what? You have to calculate drift velocity, and you are giving, I have already derived the relationship between current density. So J was equal to NEVD. So if N is given, then you have to, or J is given, then you can, so you have given a problem like, say there is a conducting material, there is a conductor whose mass density, whose density is given. How can you calculate? The major point is calculating this, the electron density. Very interesting. People, I will bet that many of you who are appearing for, you may solve this, I am not saying. But many of which we have tried and solved many problems will fail to do this. And if you do this, then I am giving it your homework. Like if you do this, then this means your basic is right. And I try to inculcate basic because I am still at measuring of current. I have not jumped to getting equivalent resistance and circuit idealization, getting this parallel, this series, that cramming those things. I want all of you students to think basic physics in a basic way. You interact because physics is all around us. If you interact physics, if you start thinking, then I think my effort is bearing fruit. And that's what I want from you. And you are free to feel. So continuing it, I am saying there is a conductor whose density is given. Okay? And current density is also given for that conductor, maybe. And you have to calculate drift speed. How will you calculate? I have given you the formula here. Can you calculate? See? So I have now make your task easier. What is density and what is electron? The only thing you now calculate is N. So I will give you a formula and that is N equal to density divided by atomic number. This is the formula, and how it is calculated? This can be so seen. This is density is how much? Density is mass per unit volume. Okay, so mass per unit volume given. So, and what is electron density? Is number of electrons. Say I am writing, so N equal to N per unit volume. So there is a equivalence. Now you can see per unit volume are both, and this is just conversion. Now number of if you divide this by the number, so you get the number of units, that is multiplying it by Avogadro's number, you will get that is the number of electron, and this sigma by z is your current density, and number of electrons will be, this is current density, so electron density, because this is current density and this is number of electrons per unit volume. So number of electrons per unit volume will be this into Avogadro's number. I'll remove this. So you can say this is total number of electrons will be, say, N1. So I am seeing that this is per unit volume. Per unit volume electron will be calculated like this. Okay. So you have to calculate only, you have to divide the mass density, because then mass density divided by atomic number, so this will get cancelled out, only remain is per cubic meter, and then this is the number of, so of course that will become number of moles, you can say, and those will contain into Avogadro's number, so those many number of atoms will be there, and there will be a question, will have a per atom there is a certain number of conducting electron. Conducting electron will be there because all the electrons will not be conducting. So per atom there will be, so total number of atoms will be मोल से आप Avogadro नंबर से कितने एटम हो गए, और वो पर यूनिट वॉल्यूम है, और उसमें अगर कंडक्टिंग इलेक्ट्रॉन एक है तो एक होगा, दो है तो दो होगा, so you multiply this and then you get this number of electron per unit volume, conducting electron precise, so that then you can calculate it. Great philosophy. This is very clear that this is mass per unit volume and this is atomic mass, so you divide it, so you get number of moles, and from these moles multiply Avogadro's number, you get the number of atoms, and per atom there are certain conducting electron. If you retain the question, suppose generally one minimum, there will be one minimum conducting electron, and so that will be the number of, if there are more than, so they will be multiplied, and that is those are per unit volume, and that is precisely number of electrons, electron density I will say, what I say electron density. So you have seen a relationship between mass density and electron density, which I have derived. I doubt that many of you people may have gone through this. This is a very important topic I have discussed, so I always believe in getting those things, and then resistivity will see. And now what I am seeing, or what we'll go to see now, we are going to electric circuit, EMF, elements of electric circuit, because I think I am done with measures of current. I have discussed everything, thermal, everything, relationship, electrolyte, everything that you need to know, and if you go through it, they will solve everything, and I am very pretty confident. So I think briefly I have discussed that I level the circuit. So this is your EI, we call it. In household, this is your bulb. This is your LED bulb I am writing. Okay. And this is your alternating current, no direct current, you keep it. Or this is your remote, whatever you say, you can say anything. That is the electrical installation which have got a property which opposes the direction of movement of current, that is inertia, that is called resistivity and resistance. The point which I am now going to introduce is resistance, that will deal, and then EMF, and this, if you understood these all things, then it is a child's play once you come to Ohm's law, because you have to discuss resistance. Now I am discussing resistance, and I rest my for this video. because resistivity I've already discussed. I've already solved, written the equation which I can write and then show you what is resistivity. I've already discussed and derived I equal to Ne square Ae by m mass of electron into relaxation time. And rearranging it, I will introduce that resistivity concept. And Ne square tau divided by mass and Ae, and this is precisely resistivity. P equal to, because this is your current density and then this is your EMF. This is what? EMF. And this is what here? Or V. The relationship will come later. We'll see it later. But this is precisely called resistivity. And so we can say I is proportional to resistivity, and resistance comes here. So this is all related, and resistance you all know. So I will not go in detail, and just I will go brief. I will now breeze through the topic because much of the time. So resistance of a say electrical appliances or of a conductor, more precisely conductor also, but this is conductor, this is our conductor you say. So resistance is from equation, it is proportional to L, that is proportional, you all know this. I need not have discussed it, but R is proportional to L by A, so R equal to rho into L by A. Okay. There are certain changes. This generally conductors wires are circular, generally like in a pipe, so you can have those pipe square and all that, and the length are, and then you can see the variations. But what we precisely see is, so, and then R is also varying with temperature, and it is precisely the equation. I think so. What we'll go is now. Okay. So one thing is that this is R is proportional to L. So if L is increased, so if there is a wire, there is a resistance initial. Say this is resistance, you cut it in two parts of L by 2. So you can derive from this equation cross-sectional area is intact. But more important, and there is a, you can rewrite this equation, I can say. If you put A, what is volume? A into L, so A equal to V by L. So you put it here, so between volume, because volume is always constant. So the other way and more precise way of writing, because this is not the case. If you are cutting it, then it's okay. But if you are stretching it, now the wire, you are going to stretch under a load, and the length it changes, so area will become less. But volume, so there you can get this relationship, the change in resistance, and you differentiate it, then dr equal to rho into 2L into dl divided by V, and if you divide it, then precisely what we will get? dr by r equal to 2 into dl by L, that is परसेंटेज चेंज इन लेंथ से डबल होता है, एंड टेम्परेचर के साथ उसका रिलेशनशिप ये होता है. एंड दैट्स ऑल फॉर दिस 1 plus linear expansion coefficient T minus T0. This is precisely a linear expansion, because this is also here there is a relationship you have seen that if the length increases, okay, if length increases then resistance increases. It is derived from there itself, because linear expansion LT equal to L0 1 plus alpha T minus, that is precisely defined. So there may be change, then you can get the resistance. Resistance will vary, and this is the most, that the percentage change in the resistance is 2 times percentage change in length. That is a more generalized formula that you will get. Thank you, students.